The road from the valley threads through barley fields turning gold. The mountain stands behind us like a sealed letter. Ahead, Galilee opens her hands, paths you know by heart, fishermen's jokes you can finish, the smell of nets drying on low walls. We move in a loose line, not quite a crowd, not quite a column, each of us carrying yesterday in our faces. Light on the ridge, a boy lifted from the ground, a sentence we can't stop praying. I believe, help my unbelief. Somewhere after the second turn and before the village with the cracked well, our conversation unravels into a kind of quiet competition. It starts small. Who took the steeper path last night? Who kept their footing? Who spoke to the Father first? Then it graduates. The words get softer when Jesus is within earshot, louder when he walks ahead. We do not say greatest out loud. We let the dust say it for us, thick around the feet of the ones walking in front. He slows, and the line folds into a circle, as if called by a bell only our bones can hear. He does not scold. He asks the kind of question that finds the splinter you tried to ignore. What were you discussing on the way? Sandals scuff, eyes find horizons. A bird decides to be louder than it needs to be. The house we're approaching, Peter's home in Capernaum, has room enough for answers, but no one volunteers one. He knows, of course. He always does. He waits anyway because waiting is part of the lesson. Inside the house, the room smells like baked bread and wood rubbed by many shoulders. A mat is unrolled, a clay lamp is set where its flame can make itself useful. He sits. The room sits with him. Then he says what we were afraid he would say and what we most need to hear. If anyone would be first, he must be last of all and servant of all. He lets the sentence live in the air a while. It sounds like a contradiction and feels like a key. You can sense each of us auditioning for last place in our heads and realizing we don't know how to practice it without bragging about it. He makes it simpler. He looks toward the open door, toward the lane where small people live their small lives with great intensity. He calls, and a child shy walks in, all knees and curiosity, clutching a piece of string with a knot in it that means everything to him. The child stops one step inside the room because adults often turn rooms into performances, and he does not know the script. Jesus does. He stands, crosses the room, and lowers himself until the difference in our heights becomes a friendship instead of a wall. He puts the child in the middle, our middle, and then scoops him up into his arms. The child's shoulders settle the way shore receives a wave. Whoever receives one such child in my name receives me, he says, cheek near hair, and whoever receives me receives not me, but him who sent me. We look where we have been avoiding looking all day, down. The kingdom he keeps describing is not shaped like a ladder. It is shaped like a circle with a small one in the middle. Greatness, it seems, is not a seat at the head of the table, but a towel over your arm. John clears his throat, honest, awkward, necessary. Teacher, he says, we saw someone casting out demons in your name, and we tried to stop him because he was not following us. Not following us. The words do not mean what John thinks they mean, and also, they do. The brand matters when you sell oil. It does not matter when God is giving it away. Do not stop him, Jesus says. No one who does a mighty work in my name will soon afterward be able to speak evil of me. Whoever is not against us is for us. Truly, whoever gives you a cup of water because you belong to Christ will by no means lose his reward. A cup of water. We were counting thrones. He is counting cups. He sets the child down. The boy discovers the knot in his string can be untied if you chase it the right way. Jesus watches him for a breath. Then his tone changes, still gentle, now made of granite. "Whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble," he says, eyes lifting to meet ours, "it would be better for him if a great millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea." The room learns a new kind of quiet. We are not used to hearing the sea mentioned indoors. We are not used to being told that the soul of a small person outweighs cement and rope and the rights of adults to do as they please. We are used to thinking harm is what happens when someone bleeds. He tells us harm is also what happens when someone's courage to trust shrinks because we taught it to. He does not stop there. He talks about hands and feet and eyes, about cutting off and tearing out if they are the paths by which our lives convince our souls to sleep. We know he speaks in pictures large on purpose. We also know he isn't making a joke. Sin, he says without saying the word, is not a hobby to be managed. It is an infection to be treated. Holiness is not performance, it is accuracy. Everyone will be salted with fire, he adds. Salt is good, but if the salt has lost its saltiness, how will you make it salty again? Have salt in yourselves and be at peace with one another, fire that seasons, salt that keeps, peace that tastes like food cooked on purpose. He is giving us a recipe we will spend the rest of our lives making. The child wanders to the doorway, where light makes dust into stars. He turns and grins without asking permission from sacredness. Jesus grins back, and that is how we know we are safe, even when the sentences are made of steel. After a while, the room remembers it is permitted to breathe. Someone pours water. Someone breaks bread. Someone passes a fig to the small boy, who decides half is as generous as the whole, and offers it to Jesus with a hand that is not entirely clean. He receives it. He always does. We walk later when the light decides to be kind to faces. The lane outside is a study in ordinary. Women mending nets with hands that do not need applause. A man straightening jars along a wall as if order is a poem. Two neighbors who spent yesterday not speaking and are looking for a sentence that can carry both of them without dropping either. He walks slowly on purpose. It gives the world time to say hello to him and time for him to answer without hurrying us. You ask because you can. What does last of all look like when the day is not dramatic? He does not give a lecture. He points again. There, where someone lets the cart pass first, even though they were first. There, where a sister with more skill quietly teaches a brother with less without charging him with his ignorance. There, where an old man sits so a child can be seen. There, where a woman tells the truth without making it a performance, and the truth, grateful, agrees to be light instead of a weapon. There, where a young man carries a jar farther than required, and the street grows safer because of it. There, where a mother says I'm sorry first, and a home remembers how to be a home. He quotes himself like a friend, reminding you of your own handwriting. If anyone would be first, he must be last of all and servant of all. Then he quotes the Father without needing to say the citation. Whoever receives one such child in my name receives me. Greatness is hospitality with a name on it. We pass a courtyard where a millstone sleeps, leaned against a wall like a tired soldier. You cannot help glancing at it. You think of all the ways a grown person can make a little person stumble. Promises made of smoke, anger that puts on boots, laughter unkind enough to bruise, neglect that empties a room of oxygen. You decide, again, and this time with a vow inside it, that in this house, small faith will not be tripped by your big opinions. He stops at the edge of the lane and looks at us the way a gardener looks at soil after rain, hopeful, certain the next planting will take. Have salt in yourselves, he says again. and be at peace with one another. Salt in yourselves. Keep the inside true so the outside does not have to pretend. Be at peace with one another. Choose to arrive without weapons. We nod the way people nod when the medicine tastes odd, and also like it might work. Night is a slow river through Capernaum. Lamps bloom in doorways. A child's giggle slips out of a house and never returns to be scolded. It finds the sky instead. We stay near the doorway a while because doorways are where the kingdom often begins. Someone decides to receive before they decide to rule. Before sleep, he prays, not with thunder, with thread, stitching us to God and to one another. You lie down with a small ache in your pride and a larger ease in your chest. The child's knot string rests on the floor near the mat. It will be found in the morning and kept as a sacrament of the day God put a child in the middle and told the room what greatness is for. If you want to practice this before breakfast, try a liturgy made of little things. When you enter a room, ask, who needs to be in the middle for this to be true? Then make space. When you reach a doorway with others, decide, I go last. Then mean it with your feet. When a small faith stands on tiptoe near you, promise, I will not make you stumble. Then guard your words like lanterns. When you want credit, ask for a towel. Wash a dish you didn't dirty. Fold a cloak you didn't wear. Carry a jar you didn't empty. When you are tempted to police someone doing good, not with us, bless the cup of water. Then drink your own pride without sugar. When peace feels expensive, remember, salt is valuable because it preserves what matters. Spend it. You will forget. We do. The ladder keeps selling us rungs, but the kingdom keeps placing children in the middle, and Jesus keeps stooping until the height between heaven and earth becomes a hug. And if today your hand, your foot, or your eye keeps steering your soul toward lesser loves, do not entertain it. Do not negotiate like two merchants arguing over figs. Cut off the root by which your life shrugs at your God. Replace the habit with a habit that tastes like salt. Prayer in the time slot where the click used to live. Neighbor's name where the complaint used to start. A walk at dusk where the screen used to be. You are not punishing yourself. You are becoming accurate. Tomorrow there will be errands and a child will ask a question that takes longer to answer than you have minutes for. Answer anyway. Tomorrow someone will offer you a cup of water you did not ask for. Receive it as if God noticed the hand that poured it, and He does. Tomorrow someone will do a mighty work in His name without your permission. Let them. God is not an economy you manage. He is a king who loves to give. You will hear again, maybe in the clatter of dishes, maybe in the whisper of a door closing quietly so a baby can sleep, the sentence that turned our hallway debates into a home. If anyone would be first, he must be last of all and servant of all. You will whisper your consent because vows like practice. Amen. Make me small in the right way. Closing prayer. Jesus, teacher and Lord, you put a child in the middle and made greatness look like a welcome. Make my heart a house where small faith is safe. Salt me from the inside so my life does not have to pretend. When I want the ladder, hand me a towel. When I police your goodness, bless the cup of water and my pride together. Keep my hands, feet, and eyes from paths that make my soul stumble. Give me grace to go last, joy to serve all, and peace with the brothers and sisters beside me. Let your sentence be true in me today. Last of all, servant of all. Amen.